I'm Mitch Henck with a few thoughts on the pushback after the gay marriage ruling by the Supreme Court. Now, regardless of how you feel about the gay marriage ruling, we now have the Attorney General in Texas who is advising his clerks if they have religious objections not to issue marriage licenses. He calls the ruling illegal. Similar rhetoric is coming from Ted Cruz and Bobby Jindal of Louisiana, and certainly Mike Huckabee of Arkansas. Huckabee calls it illegitimate, says these 5 black-robed judges are unelected. A lot of different proposals, but if you're advising people not to issue licenses, you are then violating the law. Now, whether you like the law or not, whether you lose or not, you can't do that. I mean, Eisenhower in 1957 didn't want to send the troops in. He wished they could have worked it out, but he did send the troops to Little Rock because the people of Little Rock were violating Brown versus Education in 1954 on integration of public schools with black students. Now, Mitch, that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. I don't care. It doesn't matter what the issue is. The only issue that matters at this point is the Supreme Court of the United States, otherwise called SCOTUS, which I hate, said this is the rule. It doesn't matter if you lose on that point or if they were wrong. The fact is they are the Supreme Court, and by a 5-4 vote, they say it's the law of the land. If you start saying, I'm not going to enforce it, then we can see marshals going down to Texas, just like we saw marshals going down to Alabama in 1963 to make sure those African-American students were admitted to the University of Alabama. And George Wallace stood in the doorway. No, you can't stand in the doorway on this. Forget about the fact that one may have been right in your mind and the other is wrong. That doesn't matter. We don't have vigilante government. The Supreme Court says you got to do it, you got to do it. Now later, a different Supreme Court perhaps could overturn it, as we saw with Dred Scott in 1857 when blacks were considered property. Things do change, but until they do, got to follow the law. And that's my 2 cents. My 2 minutes are brought to you by Capital Consultants and Edge Construction. Mike Tuig and his staff can do your kitchen, your bathroom, your staircase, make your home feel just like home. We can argue about it tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock on 92.1 FM. See you then.